So I'm going to make this sort of as short as I can. I know I have a tendency to ramble on sometimes. But basically I want to talk about a couple of things that need to just start happening, in my opinion, if we're going to be taken seriously in the state of New York. Here we are. Let's think about the environment we're in right now. We've been on this different lockdowns, all these different rules that are being applied. People are being forced to wear masks here and there. All these little tyrants are popping up. They're thinking they're authoritarians to tell us what to do, where we can go, how we can do it, what we have on our face, what we don't have on our face. All this sort of nonsense is going on, and it's creating all kinds of psychological issues with everybody involved, whether you admit it or not. If you're wearing a mask and you're seeing people wearing masks, it's a psychological issue. You were dragged out of your homes and you're dragged out of your livelihoods and made to stay in your homes, and all these crazy things are occurring. And then we have the police abusing their power in New York City and in Minneapolis and in all kinds of different places. We've had the murder of Duncan Lemp. You may not know who Duncan Lemp is. Duncan Lemp was a freedom fighter, basically, and he was in the process of setting up some communication infrastructure for a movement that was was to protect the freedoms of Americans, and he was murdered. He was absolutely murdered over some stupid laws. And then you've got, I think, Breonna Taylor, I think was her name. The police went and murdered her, and then of course we've all been seeing this Mr. Floyd, him just getting brutally treated by a police officer with absolutely no regard for whether or not he was being watched, whether or not people were present, and then he has people there that are just protecting him while he kills this dude, and it's absolutely sickening, and it disgusts me. And I know that there's on the side of Black Lives Matter and some other groups out there that it becomes a real racial issue, and I think that this is way beyond race. Because, there's definitely black police officers that are killing white people, and there's definitely white police officers that maybe by a larger number scale are killing black people. But, I mean, the death of Duncan Lemp is no less grievance to me than or no more a grievance to me than Breonna Taylor or Mr. Floyd. I think that of all of them I've seen, the most disgusting and horrendous thing that I've witnessed is that man, Mr. Floyd, being killed by that scumbag in a badge. And I don't give a damn what color he is. He deserves no less than the gallows, in my opinion. And it's absolutely sickening. And I'm not advocating the type of looting that is completely and 100% self-serving, where people are running in Target and taking TVs, but I don't misunderstand the way that people feel. I also believe that the police instigated the looting, and I believe that the officer Peterson was caught doing that, and they'll definitely deny that. We've investigated ourselves and we found we've done no wrong. It's the same damn story over and over and over again. I've been seeing this my entire life. When I was 13, 14 years old, a young kid and his girlfriend were shot by Mesa Police Department behind a pool hall that I frequented. Over like 120 shots were fired, and they murdered this kid. And he was like 16 years old, and his girlfriend was like 15, and they just killed him in cold blood. This isn't new. This has been going on for years, and some of us have been involved with being against it for years and years and years, and we're absolutely fed up. When they put us in a situation where we're treated, where our minds are completely destroyed and taken away from the things that we are used to seeing and doing on a daily basis, what left do we have to look at but the tyranny that has been present all along? And the tyranny is just increasing, and our response to that needs to be greater or equal to the force that's being applied to us. I believe that 100%. And here's my belief. I'm not advocating direct violence in any way, shape, or form. I'm advocating that people begin to organize what they're doing a little bit more than is being organized. We've seen some organization, but in New York, we don't have very much organization. We got these bickering, fighting, BS things going back and forth between all these party politics. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're libertarian. I don't care if you're anarchist. I don't care if you're black, white. I don't care if you're Mexican. I don't care what you claim to be or who you claim to be. All I care about is one thing, that you care about human beings enough to stand up for people that are being mistreated. And that's what I want to see happen. And that's why I want to organize as many people as we can who want to say, listen, we're being mistreated here. We're being mistreated in the state of New York right now by a tyrant named Andrew Cuomo. He needs to go. We need to get rid of him. We need to pull him out of his ivory tower and get him off of his golden throne. And we need to organize in a way that we can make an effect on the people that aren't waking up yet, okay? Because there's so many people in the state of New York that are absolutely in love with the government here, and it blows my freaking mind that anybody can see what happens and really be in love with the government and Andrew Cuomo and his regime. It blows my mind, but they're out there. And one of the things that happens is a lot of the people that don't necessarily agree with him, they don't feel like they have a voice. They don't feel like there's anybody with them. They don't feel like they can take their masks off in public. They don't feel like they can claim that this pandemic has been a joke all along. But if there's enough of us who go out in public, who set up protests that just pop up with nobody expecting it because we've done something different, which is organize it offline, then we're going to start sending messages that are real quick and real swift into the minds of the people seeing it and into the minds of the government that starts to watch us, the minds of the governor that starts to see what we're doing and how we're going to start affecting and drawing more people into our movement. Now here's what I propose. I propose that we set up we keep the groups that we have, all the groups that are against New York, find other groups that want to change some of these things that I'm talking about, and draw people in, and we add people that are really for that movement and cause into private Facebook groups. And in those private Facebook groups, or group, maybe just one, I don't know what's going to happen, we organize and set up public meetings at undisclosed locations until they're shown at online, whether through messaging or whatever means we use to communicate with one another. And in those meetings, we get to know one another, we meet one another, we see if we're actually on the same pages or there's enough there that we can put together, and we strategize. We strategize things we can do to start to change the system in the way that it ought to be, where people's liberties and freedoms are actually being promoted and not being just squandered and stepped on. And I want to see people from every walk of life do this and join this cause. I don't give a damn what your party affiliate is, and I don't want it to be about a Trump rally. I don't want it to be about a Biden rally or even a libertarian rally anymore. I just want to see people do it. And if they come together for a cause like this, then we can start to look at in other aspects of our life why some people are Democratic, why some people are Republican, why some people are Libertarian. But that's a separate issue. That has nothing to do with the fact that we need to have a place secure, where our freedoms are secure and we're not being trampled. I can't even go to a store without feeling like I'm some kind of piece of garbage because I can't wear a mask on my face. That's bullshit, man. And there's a lot of people like me out there. It's not my fault that I have respiratory issues, but everybody makes me feel like I'm freaking gonna kill somebody because I do. I'm fucking sick of it, man. And if you're sick of it too, then let's come together and meet with each other and start making change happen and make Andrew fucking Cuomo hear us for once and for all, instead of just laughing at us. That dude is the worst piece of garbage that I have seen in a long time. He is nothing but a little Hitler. You think that Hitler came to power any different than he did? The people loved that man. The people absolutely loved Hitler. They voted him in, and he slowly and surely took their rights until one day a nation woke up and said, wait a minute, what the fuck did we do? And guess what happened there? We all know the history. People are going to argue against me about that, but I've studied it a lot, and I know what happened. And I understand what's happening now. And it's not just in New York, it's in other states too. And people are starting to wake up, and we need to wake up New Yorkers as well. We need to wake up New Yorkers. That's our mission and our goal. If you want to be a part of that waking up and that great awakening in this state that actually sees this state turn into a place where people can be free and be proud to be again, then join with me. You can friend me, you can join the groups I'm in, and we can get to communicating one another. If we're too far away from each other, then we can just plan on having those meetings at separate locations and coordinate what we're going to do. But I'd like to see us put the effort in to meet at certain places at the same time and say, this is where we're going to be, this is what we're going to do. And I'm not calling, listen, I would love to see militia. I would love to see, bikers. I would love to see, everybody from every walk of life, Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, whoever's out there that wants to fix the problem. Step down off of the podium where you're speaking about the next effing election, and let's talk about what we're going to do to fix the problems we face right now and put fear in the face of the freaking politicians that are out there. If you want to do that, then we can be friends. If you don't want to do that, then I ain't got nothing else to say, you know. I'll get the hell out of this state, and I'll leave it to the rest of y'all to figure it out. My name is Deegan Weeks, and if the Fed boys come and get me, then the Fed boys come and get me.